girl too.
Guys, welcome to today's video. I'm Trixie if you're new here, and today I just want to film a very cozy, chill evening vlog. The plan is to literally just read and do my reading journal. I'm currently reading Mate and Hungerstone. The plan right now is to finish Hungerstone because I'm close to finishing it, and then I want to do my reading journal and listen to the audiobook of Mate. I started it yesterday when I went to do my nails, which moment of appreciation for my nails because they look amazing. They were my birthday nails. I also just got my hair done because it's my birthday on Saturday. But anyway, the plan is just to have a very cozy evening. It's very gloomy. It's been finally getting cold here. It feels like fall finally. I just want to have a cozy evening. So we're gonna start by reading Hungerstone and finally finishing it. I have been reading this one for a long time now, and not because it's bad, because actually this might be my new favorite book. I just haven't been reading, honestly. I've been very distracted by my phone. It's been really hard to just pick up a book and read for a long time. However, I am absolutely loving this book, and I just have not been obsessed with a book's writing like this in so long. I have so many tabs, so many. It's just very atmospheric. It feels like truly the perfect fall gothic, sapphic, vampire-y read. There's like an underlying vibe of like blood and hunger. It's literally called Hungerstone, but there's that underlying theme that I love, like people starting to go crazy and having this hunger within them that is reminiscent of like a vampire, but they're just like slowly going crazy. And obviously one of the characters from this book is called Carmilla, so like that already gives you a vibe that it's gonna be a vampire book. And if you haven't heard of Hungerstone, this book is about Lenore and her slow descent into madness. She and her husband moved to an estate in the countryside, and it's a very like gothic mansion that's falling apart because it's in a very bad state. And there's just like a creepy element to this house in itself. It seems like it doesn't even want to be restored. It's just very like muggy and moldy, and it just gives off that like rotten vibe that I am obsessed with, honestly. And when she's moving to that estate with her husband, they find a car crash. They stop and they find Carmilla, and they bring her back with them so that she can get better and eventually go on her way. This girl Carmilla is just challenging Lenore's perspective on life. She's like, okay, you clearly work a lot for your husband, you do a lot of things in this house for him and his status and the people that he works with, but what do you do for yourself? How are you living for yourself? What do you actually want in your life? And I'm just loving that. I love their tension. I love that she is making Lenore question everything she knows about her world and her life. The reason why she's married to Henry, her husband, is because when she was younger, her parents died in a car crash that she was also in. So she's very traumatized with having witnessed her parents' death. And also when they died, she figured out that they owed a lot of money, so now she's poor, and she goes to live with her aunt that does not treat her well. She just wants to escape, and she wants to find a rich husband, and that's why she meets Henry at a party and just basically pitches herself to him and is like, I would be the perfect wife. He's like, you know what, sure. They get married, and now she hasn't been able to give him kids, so he kind of hates her. She's very alone. She just basically works all day inside the house, planning parties or going to parties and, you know, being social and making connections so that she and her husband, but more her husband, can have this status and be part of the elite. That's kind of it. It's very much giving just a depressed housewife who is realizing she has never lived just for herself, and I'm obsessed. I love the fact that she's like slowly descending into madness. I love the fact that she's questioning everything. And I just love books with female rage. I really do. And you can clearly tell that she's getting more and more enraged by the fact that, you know, she has not lived for herself a day in her life. This is very sapphic, but it's a very slow burn, and I'm obsessed. Their attention is just amazing, and I've never really read books like this. I've never read gothic books, and this is like a historical gothic fiction, and so even the writing itself, it's very different from the way we speak now, but I don't think it's like hard to understand. It's definitely a little bit slower to read because the structure of the sentences is a little different. There's clearly a vibe of like old English and old ways of talking. It's just a book that you want to read slower, that you want to enjoy every single paragraph. So clearly, as you can tell by all this yapping I just did, I'm really loving this one. If you're looking for a book with gothic themes, sapphic, a vampire like vibe, pick this one up. I have around 70 pages left, so the plan is just lay in bed, get cozy, and finish this book. Finally down to the last pages, and this is starting to get crazy. Oh my god, I love this. Wait. The first chapter starts with blood, and then the last chapter starts with it ends with blood, and it is quite poetic what blood meant in the first chapter and what it means in the last one. Wait, I love how it ends. I love the last sentence. Oh my god, it ended in the most perfect way, and the last sentence, this was so good. I really wasn't expecting to love this book as much as I do. When I saw this copy in London in Waterstones and it was signed, I was like, you know, why not? I like the cover. The story seems fun. It's signed. Let me just grab it and take it with me. And I had no idea that I was picking up a literal 5-star so randomly. This really just shows me how much I need to branch out from my comfort zone and read something that excites me. Everything that I said before remains true. This was amazing. I wrote Hungerstone in a great deal of anger and confusion, at a great inflection point in my life where some tragedies had come to pass and I was left in the aftermath, wondering what it all had been for, the life that I had exhausted myself building, the extreme vigilance with which I held myself. I think this perfectly encapsulates the character arc of Lenore, how she just comes to realize that she's hungry for more, and Carmilla shows her what she's missing. If you're looking for a gothic, sapphic vampire book, definitely pick this one up. Give this one a chance. It just feels amazing to find another 5-star and to have it this annotated. And I remember being like, I don't even know, a third into the book or something, and I was starting to tab it a lot, and I was like, fuck, like I low-key want to reread it so that I can annotate even more. But honestly, that's just another incentive to one day reread this book and give it even more attention because I just love it. I don't know what it was. I think I was just in the perfect mood to read this. I was really craving that gothic horror vibe, and this delivered. It's finally time to do my reading journal. I have been ignoring this for a while now, and so I have my September and my October spread still to do. I usually do a monthly cover, and then on the side I put my monthly TBR. So that's what we're gonna do. Now I'm gonna go on Pinterest and I'm gonna try to find some inspo for what to do. I usually like drawing the cover, but then the TBR I usually just put the pictures, do something very minimal. Okay, so now that we have our inspo to do the spreads, I'm gonna be listening to the Maid audiobook. I started listening to this when I went to do my nails yesterday, and I got to page 56, and I can't really tell you a lot of the plot for Maid because that will spoil you a little bit for Bride. So I'm not gonna give too many details. Serena is Cohen's maid, and Cohen is not Serena's maid. And then you see him right from the beginning just being there for her every single time, just protecting her, being sweet, like doing things for her, just taking care of her generally. So I'm guessing that we're still gonna have that down bad MMC that Ali Hazel just loves to do and does very well. And yeah, that's kind of it. I'm really enjoying their banter. I'm really enjoying the characters. I think I like them way better than I like the other characters. These ones are just more fun to follow along, I would say, than the other ones. So far I'm enjoying it. I'm not that far into it, but I've seen amazing reviews. Everyone is going crazy for this, so my expectations are a little high. But from what I've listened to so far, I also think I'm really gonna like this one. So let's start doing my reading journal because it's getting kind of late. Some inspo on Pinterest and I've been sketching it out because I usually take a long time to sketch everything out and figure out how I want to do it. So now that I've done both of the sketches, I'm gonna start filling them in and actually making it cute. I've been also listening to the audiobook I've made while I was doing the sketches, and I started out on page 56 and I'm now on page 119, so it's going by really fast. Obviously I'm not gonna be able to finish this book. I think on Audible it says that I have 6 hours left, so that's not gonna happen, but I know that I'll be finishing this pretty soon because I'm just absolutely loving it. I think the fact that I'm listening to the audiobook is making me like it more because I don't know if it's called a duet when the guy reads the guy's lines, but that's what's going on this one. So it feels a little bit more dynamic to be listening to both of them speaking, and their conversations just flow better, and I don't have to listen to a girl making the guy's voice because sometimes it's a little cringy. So if you want to listen to it on audiobook and you don't know if it's like worth it, if you should just read it instead, I think you should buy the audiobook. Not to be a bad influence, but it's just very funny and it's making it so pleasurable. I'm literally flying through this. So now let's get into the reading journal. I really want to start doing it actually because it took me a long time to sketch this out and it's getting very late at this point. Let's get into this. Done. We have my September page, and yes, I only read literally one book from my TBR. It's embarrassing. Guys, tension is building and I'm not mad. Like, they're getting freaky. I'm sorry, wait. I need to do an update on this book because all of a sudden, what the fuck? He's so like, I don't care about anything, but she just gets under his skin and it's amazing. It's kind of freaky that they're like smelling each other and like feral, but I'm not mad about it. And a few minutes ago, she was like playing this game of like choose a hand, and she was like, oh, for example, you could have gotten a kiss on your cheek if you didn't choose this hand or whatever. He was like, wait, what? I want a kiss on the cheek. And she's like, no, you didn't pick that hand. It's like, but I want a kiss on the cheek. Why is it so good? Like, I'm going feral too. They went shopping and he bought everything that she touched. My man, my man, my man. For a shopaholic like me, that was the hottest thing ever. Like, I'm literally kind of blushing at a fictional werewolf. Anyway, let's continue with my October spread. Okay, so we're finally finished. This is definitely not my best work, but it's good enough. It's also practically November, so at this point I don't care as much. I'm gonna try to make something really cute for November, but for September, as I told you, I just chose a fall theme. So I did some leaves and I added these stars and these circles just to make it come together a little bit more. If you ever feel like your bullet journal doesn't look finished, like your drawings just look a little bit weird, try adding these small details because it makes everything come together. And then I just glued some scrapbook paper and put my TBR here. As you can tell, I was very unsuccessful. I just was not reading during September. Then I already did my reviews for the books that I read on September previously, so I didn't need to do that today. And then for my October spread, I went with a Halloween theme. And this is the one that I'm not obsessed with. I definitely think I could have done better, but I was getting tired. And honestly, it still looks cute. It's still something that I'm gonna look back on and think, oh my god, so fun. I'm so glad that I was doing this and whatever. So it doesn't really matter. The important thing is just to have fun and have a creative outlet. As you can tell, I just went with a Halloween theme. So I put this grave here, some pumpkins, some bats, cobwebs, more leaves, and some candles. The TBR, I also did this gingham pattern style, and I just glued, once again, some scrapbook paper and just wrote TBR on it. And as you can tell, this month we're doing way better. I've already read 2 of the 6 books on my TBR, and I'm almost halfway through May. I'm definitely not gonna finish this TBR though. There's no way I'm gonna read Slewfoot, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, and the Ex-Hex in the next 5 days. There's just no way. I already reviewed 2 books that I read this month. I need to add Hungerstone here, but I'm not gonna do that now because it's 1 a.m. and I just want to go do my skincare and go to bed. And also, usually for the books that I give 5 stars or 4.5 stars, I do a mood board. So I just find pictures on Pinterest that give off the same aesthetic and vibe as the book, and then I just glue them here and I cut the corners so that it looks like a Pinterest board actually. And so I'm really excited to do one for Hungerstone. That is it for today's video. I'm just gonna do my skincare now and go to sleep and continue to read Mate. I'm probably not gonna read too much because I am sleepy. If you didn't like Bride, I think you should still give a chance to Mate because this one is just way better. I'm really enjoying this one. And also, it's such a slow burn. They have not even kissed yet. The most they have done is some light grazing on her thigh. So if you're interested, pick this one up. I think you're gonna have a fun time. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you had fun. Maybe this could be some inspiration for your own reading journal. Let me know if you would like to see more of my reading journal, because I would definitely be down to do my reading journal with you. And that's it. Subscribe if you're not already, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye!